Now, Omicron is perhaps the dominant COVID variant now in India. While the official number of Omicron cases in India is estimated to be nearly 1,500, in reality, it could be more than 10 times this official number, as high as 18,000, with the number shooting up every day. Now, India is following the rest of the world, which is facing galloping numbers of Omicron cases, which in some countries account for 90% of new cases. India's official numbers are so low because our country has very few testing labs or facilities that can check for genome sequencing, which is essential for all of us to be able to detect Omicron. Now, NDTV has had access to 2 labs that are able to test for Omicron, and the numbers tell a very different story to the official figures. 2 major Omicron labs in Delhi and in Mumbai show that out of all COVID cases, Omicron is now as high as nearly 60%. Another Omicron lab in Mumbai, and it's also likely to show in its next report that Omicron is 60%. That's up from 37% just a week ago. Particularly alarming is the fact that Omicron cases are rising much faster than Delta, from about a 2% share of total COVID cases 2 to 3 weeks back. It's now shooting up to 30% a few days back, and it's now close to 60% of all COVID cases. During this period, the share of the Delta variant has fallen consistently, making Omicron already the dominant variant in India. Now, this is both good news and bad news for India. The good news is that Omicron causes less severe infections than Delta, and a higher percentage of Delta patients are hospitalized, with a higher percentage of deaths as well compared to Omicron. But the worrying news for India is that Omicron spreads much faster. It's estimated to be 4 to 5 times more infectious than the Delta variant. Think about it, 4 to 5 times. Now, this suggests that if this third wave does accelerate like it has across the rest of the world, India could see between 16 to 20 lakh cases every day at its peak, compared with the 4 lakh Delta cases that India had at the peak of our second wave. Now, this would place an unimaginable and an unmanageable strain on our medical system, hospital beds, oxygen cylinders, doctors, and the availability of medicine. This is because even though a fewer percent of Omicron cases are likely to be hospitalized, the number of cases and infections are so much larger. For instance, if only 6 out of 100 Delta cases need hospitalization and only half that, say 3 out of 100 Omicron cases need hospitalizations, then the second wave peak of 4 lakh Delta cases resulted in about 24,000 hospital admissions. But in the third scenario, in the worst scenario, in fact, the third wave peak of 20 lakh Omicron cases would result in between 40 to 60,000 Omicron hospitalizations per day. Now, India's medical infrastructure was close to breaking point during the second wave of Delta, with potentially nearly 3 times that number of hospitalizations under Omicron. Possibly now, India could be facing a massive health crisis. The one positive we can hope for is that the Omicron wave, though much worse than the Delta wave, may not last as long as the Delta wave. Data from South Africa shows that Omicron waves may tend to both spike faster and die away quicker than Delta waves. Nevertheless, India does not appear to be preparing itself for what, at its worst, could be a terrible third wave ahead. We must prepare, and we must prepare now.